I got this email. Doug, I hope you're doing well. It seems like a lot of us have been impacted by the recent Google updates and AI changes. Do you still think affiliate or ad monetized sites are a good direction to pursue? Are you exploring other options? What are you working on with your current projects? Have you made any changes to adapt to the new landscape? Thanks for all the valuable insights you've shared. It's always been a huge help. Best regards. Well, great question, Jack. And the funny thing is, I had just recorded a live stream and talked about how niche sites, authority sites, really, they're not viable anymore. I stopped building brand new sites in like 2020 or so. Part of it is just me moving on and doing other stuff for my business, but it got harder. Building sites became harder. AI wasn't quite what it is today, but in the last year and a half, it's gotten so much better. And there was just a flood of content and everything got so much more competitive. So here's the quick summary. No, I don't think websites are the answer anymore, especially for side hustles, especially for beginners with side hustles and earning money online. Authority Hacker, probably one of the biggest course platforms and communities out there, closed up their courses last week. They shut down their affiliate program and said, hey, this is different than what it used to be. They started their stuff in 2014 and things have changed a lot in the last 10 years. It really accelerated in the last year. So I sunset my courses about 4, 5, 6 months ago, and I stopped selling it like 18 months ago. So once I stopped promoting it, I let everyone go through the course, provided some additional guidance, but overall just ramped it down and then completely sunset it. What should you work on? Well, I can't answer that specifically, but YouTube and video is good. That's a great skill to have. Everything is moving to video. Podcasting is good as well. I would say only blog if you want to write and share something, and writing is what you want to do. I wouldn't expect to earn money from blogging if that's your sole medium. It can support other stuff, especially if you have another, like if you have e-commerce or you're doing something else, but it is not a sole source of getting traffic anymore. And I think local newsletters, that's something I've been covering because people around me have local newsletters. But overall, I mean, there's opportunities everywhere. Here's the thing, man, there's opportunities, but it's just not defined. So there's no blueprint out there. There's not people trying to sell courses and telling you how to do it. There is, but they're sort of smaller. They're followed by a small group of people and it feels sort of underground. A lot of this stuff hasn't really broken huge yet. If you're like me, whatever you're into seems like that's the only thing going on. We forget how niche down things are. If you're in a specific little community, you may hear about it all the time. Maybe you've heard about it for years, but other normal people haven't heard about it. Any sort of little subculture has their thing that they feel like it's saturated and well known, but most people don't know. And there are so many opportunities out there. It's just, they're not mature yet. So it's kind of the Wild West. And there's even more opportunities. You could imagine like this niche site stuff and Google SEO was getting started in the mid-aughts or so, like 2005, 6, 7. After a few years, it felt saturated, but here we are 15 years later, almost 20 years later in some cases. And there's a lot of people that said it was dead 10 years ago or 15 years ago, but it kept going for a pretty long time. So that said, there's a lot of opportunities. You got to find it. You got to test it. You got to check it out. I like podcasting and YouTube. If you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you probably figured that out. I produce a lot of videos. I produce a lot of content overall. Live streaming is good. You just have to figure out what you want to do. For me and a lot of my peers that were building sites and doing affiliate marketing, we built personal brands alongside the other stuff we were doing. Everyone has their own reason. For me, I was getting bored just building sites. But the other thing is I wanted to produce my own products. And it really brings a lot of freedom. The other thing is I put myself in a good financial position so I don't have to move to the next thing immediately. I have some friends that are in a different situation and they've had to take on client work. Maybe they've had to do something else. They've kind of had to scramble because they didn't have the same sort of cash flow from investments that I have, which is a fortunate spot that I'm in. When it comes down to it, I'm just waiting around and seeing what I want to work on, what I'm interested in, and I'll go from there.